Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another 2024 election prediction. Election prediction. This one will be between Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota and Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York. These two people have been in the spotlight for around the past year. Obviously, looks like they do have presidential aspirations. Governor Cuomo with the coronavirus briefings. Governor Noem, obviously, great supporter of Trump and just a minor thing, but she just was trending on Twitter over some Fourth of July thing of Mount Rushmore. So obviously, people into the culture, people into politics, people trying to keep their names at the top of the news cycle. Obviously, unlike other governors, like governors of like Arkansas or Montana or whatnot. So let's get right into the prediction and enough speaking. So safe states, I'm really not going to be deciphering, as I always say, between Oregon and Washington and California, although the margins will be bigger for some of those states, bigger for California, smaller for Oregon. They will all go to Joe Biden by a significant portion. Sorry, not Nebraska, Maine. I'm looking for. And then we'll do Illinois, the state I always forget. Okay, let's get now to the Republican safe states, and I'll be doing the same thing with the Republican safe states as I did with the Democrats. Okay, let's just get right quick through the likely, and then I'm going to talk more about lean and tilt margins. I'm going to put the lean and tilt margins and likely margins the way that I do them and the way that I characterize them based on what percent win by in the description of this video. So if you want to know that, please just check out the description. We'll do likely Republican states first this time. Kristi Noem, I think she'll continue the trends in Iowa and Ohio. I actually think she'll be very good for the suburbs. She'll win Maine second as well if Trump's campaigning for her, but I do think she'll be very, very helpful for the suburbs. Maybe not as much for the Rust Belt, although if Trump is campaigning, he could help her more. I think she'll perform better in Virginia, possibly Colorado, although I do think they will end up going for Joe Biden. I do think she will perform better just due to her suburban appeal. And, you can say that's for better or for worse. Okay, likely Democrat states. What I'm going to put is I'm going to put Colorado as the first likely Democrat state. I still think Andrew Cuomo will still win Colorado. He has a slight suburban appeal. I still think he can drive out turnout among the Denver and among cities in Colorado. Obviously, not much to talk about there, though. And I'm going to also put New Mexico as a likely state. I'm going to leave out Virginia just because of Noem's appeal, but you may see it get characterized in the next one. So that's it for now. 196, 149. A bit strange, actually, when you look at it. I don't usually have it this way, but why not? So let's get to the lean Republican states. Lean Republican states will be North Carolina, Florida, and Nebraska second. I do think Noem will perform pretty well in Nebraska second, suburban area. Noem, obviously, the border state, South Dakota right above it. And she has that appeal. She has a northwestern appeal, maybe our industrial Rust Belt slight appeal, but I don't know. Trump really has that. I guess Biden had some of it. Clinton didn't have it. Obama had a bit of it, but if Trump's campaigning, it could help. But obviously, we're talking about Nebraska second, and I still think that will go for the lean margin, as well as Texas. I always forget about Texas. I don't see Texas being a tilt state yet, probably 2028, maybe even tilt in the Democrat category, but still lean for 2024. Trump won it by technically a likely margin, although the minimum of a likely margin, but Trump did win it nonetheless. Lean states for Cuomo will be Virginia. Noem will do slightly better with the suburbs, but Cuomo will obviously hold on to Virginia, which has been trending more to the left. With Nevada, not really much to say there. Always slightly higher proportion of Democrats to Republicans in the state. It's always going to be close, but there's a higher proportion of Democrats to Republicans. And Noem just doesn't have that much of an appeal in Nevada. Another lean Democrat will be Maine at large. Cuomo has that northeastern appeal, and I do think he'll win Maine at large by about 5-ish points, probably the top of the lean, maybe likely, but I'll leave it at lean for now. And I'll also put Minnesota at lean for Cuomo. I think he will do somewhat good in the Rust Belt. Maybe not as well as Biden or Trump did in 2016 or Obama, but I think he will perform slightly better in the Rust Belt. And I think we're on to the tilt states. New Hampshire is a tilt. It is a suburban state, so I do think Noem could perform somewhat well there, or somewhat better than what Trump did against Biden, obviously, for Republicans, but we'll get to that. Obviously, similar with Sununu in that regard, similar appeal. And Chris Sununu, obviously governor of New Hampshire. Okay, let's get to tilt Republican state. Let's do tilt Democrat states first, actually. First tilt Democrat state will be Arizona. Still close state. Cuomo will win it. Noem doesn't have much of an appeal there, and Cuomo obviously will drive up. And I think he will drive up some Latino support. Latinos obviously still vote in a much higher proportion of Democrat to Republican, although the trend is narrowing. I still think it will go for Cuomo. It went to Biden by about 0.3% in 2020. Cuomo could boost that to maybe 1%, 0.9, 0.8, but still in the tilt margins for Cuomo. Let's see. Another tilt state will be Michigan. It's still shifting to the right. It shifted the least to the right in 2020. I mean, it obviously shifted a bit back to the left, but overall, not as much to the right as Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Michigan, I believe Biden won it by about 2.6 points. Cuomo could win it in the lean margin. I'll have him winning it by about 1 point here, so highest of the tilts again. But I just want to leave it in tilts because I prefer to keep Rust Belts, the whole Rust Belt tilt. Let's go to some tilt Republicans. First tilt Republican state, I'll make New Hampshire. I think Noem will actually do pretty solid there in New Hampshire. I think she has a good appeal even in the Northwest, even right near Cuomo's home state of New York. Obviously, Cuomo scandal prone with the sexual assault allegations, the coronavirus and nursing home scandal, obviously losing his good reputation in New York, and that could help him and that could hurt him in the Northeast and help Noem. And obviously, Cuomo is very scandal prone. Noem hasn't been in the spotlight for as long and doesn't have as many scandals, although she is at the top at the moment. And I do think that would hurt Cuomo. Okay, let's continue with tilt Republicans. I'll have Wisconsin tilting Republican. I see it shifting back to the right. Biden only won it by about, I think it was 0.53% in 2020. And that was the least, the state to shift back to Biden, the least out of the three Rust Belt states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. And I do think Noem will be able to take it back for the Republicans. And following 2024, succeeding it, Republicans will have a much stronger grasp of Wisconsin. It will move into a lean state eventually in maybe 2020 or 2032, and continue in that progress until the demographics change again. So we're down to the two final states. Obviously, elections continuing to be close as always, which is absolutely great. Did I leave something? Oh wait, no, never mind. I keep thinking Pennsylvania has 20 electoral votes. It's at 19. Okay. Let's go with. I'm going to start with Pennsylvania first. This is going to be a close state. I think that it's a suburban state. I think that Noem has a good shot at it. I think Cuomo has a good shot at it. Obviously, borders New York. Cuomo is scandal prone. Cuomo is a Democrat. The Republicans will manage to fit him in with being radical to the left, and I do think that will hurt him. Obviously, Noem not having the best, appeal with Rust Belt states. With Trump campaigning for her in Pennsylvania, I think she'll be able to pull it off. It's shifting to the right. It went back to Biden by about 1.1%, I believe, in 2020. Went to Trump by about 0.7, went to Obama in 2016, went to Obama by about 7 or 8 points in 2012. So obviously a major shift to the right. That trend will continue. Noem wins Pennsylvania, although it is, again, a border state to New York. Noem will win Pennsylvania. And the final state of Georgia, it is a suburban state. I think Noem has a good chance at it. I'm not going to make this election a 269 tie. I have to make a victor. So I will have her win Georgia, which is probably my biggest upset of the election. I don't want to make it a tie, and I think that she does have a good shot at winning Georgia, a suburban state. Although it has been shifting more and more to the left or to the Democrats. I do think it could have one final shift back, maybe 0.1, 0.2%, a win in Georgia by Noem. So anyway, this is the electoral map of Kristi Noem versus Andrew Cuomo. Noem pulls it off. I may do some elections in the future with Democrats that have better chances of winning. Obviously, this was a toss-up, really. And bad Republican candidates, and I will get to that. But this is obviously what I've done at the moment. I hope you guys liked the video. Obviously, if you disagree, please let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you on what I have to say. And make sure to subscribe if you want to continue to see more 2024 election night predictions. I really enjoy making these videos. I enjoy doing all sorts of candidates for both sides. I'll probably be doing more 2022 Senate predictions, governor predictions, the House prediction. My 2020 House prediction was very, very accurate. I didn't make a YouTube video on it, but it was on the website that I have, that I will also post in the description if you want to take a look at my predictions on my website. And I have some editorials on there if you want to check it out. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and have a great day. Thank you very much.